Welcome to this video, everybody. In today's video, I am going to discuss why I look into all these subjects and what drives me to create video. And also I'm going to give an update on the channel and what I want to do over the next few months with the channel and where I want it to go. My main drive in what I do is creating the visual and narrative and the story. I have always seen film and video as a form of magic, a way to tell stories, convert large concepts in a small space of time to people without having to explain everything. Going back to when I made my first animation with He-Man figures when I was 5 years old under a VHS camera, I was driven by the moving image and ways I could express my views and thoughts through this medium. That's why I've always followed a creative path to express my points and views on how I see life. Amongst the conversations with my brothers over the years, my interest in the alternative world grew as a child with so many strange experiences happening. Also, my love for films like Terminator, Aliens, and the strange, quirky B-movies that were made in the 60s and 70s. What I always got really fascinated by was, where do these ideas and concepts come from? I've always liked to work out where things happen and where they originate from. It must be my analytical brain, and this has led me into many areas of research. And you realise, no matter how abstract and out of this world something can be, creativity always has an influence from somewhere, and often comes from another story, which is usually classed as a conspiracy or just a theory. Although there are some very far out ideas in the conspiracy world, some of the theories are very true, and often the ones that are very extreme are often just distracting us from the ones that are very real. So they can just remain a theory and it becomes all confused. So everything's just one big conspiracy theory. We started the Sacred Wisdom podcast and the Hidden History series as we wanted to share our knowledge that we had discussed over so many years of our conversations me and my brother have had. But what I've always loved and have a great skill for is creating stories and films around these subjects. You can see from the previous films on the channel, as much as I love researching, my main passion and skill is in filmmaking. But over the last year, I have followed where the channel has gone and what feels right to do for you and the viewers that are watching all this content. So where does creativity come from? Music has especially always interested me in how the playing of certain instruments can really affect the energetics within a room and our bodies and anything that sound interacts with. Although invisible to the human eye, sound does have a form as it travels. It's just we don't see it. But just like a wireless router in your home, we don't see the YouTube video flying through the air to the laptop because it exists on another frequency. It's being broadcast in a way the human eye cannot see. And I feel this is the same with creativity, and this is how ideas come to us. It will be pulled out of the zeitgeist and you tune into that zeitgeist, and then them ideas come to you. I've quite often discovered trends a few months before they come out. I'm sure a lot of you have, where you have an experience and something, and then a few months later it starts coming out. I really wish I'd done that with Bitcoin at the time when it first appeared on Pirate Bay all them years ago. I don't feel this is being psychic, but it's more that these things are in the ether and we are literally tapping into it. And all of us do this, just not a lot of us are conscious to it, and we're occupied with this physical reality and everything that's around us. So this is how I've always liked to create, especially creating content for you all, because I've tapped in each week and created the videos that have been needed to be created. Everything has evolved organically on this channel, which has always been the best way for me. I'm a very natural type of person. I like to grow in a very natural type of way. So this will allow your creativity to flow a lot more when you tap into that ether. And you'll actually find you're kind of getting ideas, almost like a sort of channeling, some people will call it that, but you'll find you'll get inspired by that. But you can also do this with many other areas of your life and improve yourself, you know, and find ways and get information and messages that you can do and take, where you can take action and do things. So that's how I made the dystopian short films back in 2020. I just, week by week, I wrote the scripts and I just tapped into that, the messages that were coming through. And I really enjoyed making the dystopian films with George Jess and the crew. I was originally only going to make 5 and ended up making over 60 short films. But I've wanted to complete many things over the last few years, and one was to build a content base for people to gain knowledge from. And I'm so pleased that the channel has lifted, bringing lots of fantastic people like yourselves to it. So thank you everyone, thank you so much, because it really is incredible. I'm so pleased with everything and the way it's gone, and can't thank you all enough. So I'm carrying on with the podcast amongst other bits of content, and we'll be getting guests coming on very soon, but I really want to get back to making some films. I have written many ideas and scripts I have ready, but I have been so absorbed in creating content and researching subjects, I have had very little time to make any films. I needed to take a break after doing the dystopian short films, as I wanted to make stronger narratives and more story-based films. I feel like I had kind of like exhausted the idea a little bit of the walk and talk videos and wanted to try something new where there's more story, conflict and protagonist, antagonist characters. So the idea is that I will create a short film every 2 weeks. These will be scripted, different cast and edited with some special effects, with storylines and not just the voiceover like I did many times in the dystopian shorts. The short films will be stories adapted from the research we have looked into within the Sacred Wisdom podcast and the Hidden History series. I've got a lot of strange, surreal storylines which will make some excellent films. Mostly sci-fi, if we can call it that these days, but I have a few horror film ideas as well. I want to transform these concepts into characters, bring them alive like I did with the dystopian short films, as this work had a lot of impact, and the reason for this was because I could input my creative flair. But I also want to make the new short films different, with more thought to the script. So I'm looking at these to be a collection of short films that I want to eventually combine and make into a feature film. The short films will give you a deeper insight into the characters within the larger feature film, which will be displayed at the end. So I kind of want to work inside out with these films, give you the backstory before the full film. I've been thinking how I can make a feature film on an ultra low budget for a while now, and how I can manage time with it all. I see this as a very good option, as it will promote the feature before it's made. But this also allows the film to develop organically, which I find a brilliant way to make films, as you get those moments that you just won't get when you work in the traditional way of filmmaking. So what I want to do with these films is explain ideas that can reach a much bigger audience. Film is a much better way to reach and communicate ideas so people can understand the world they are in without feeling threatened. And also, I'm sure a lot of you know, but film costs a lot of time and money. I'm so passionate about making films. Certain films have changed my life over the years and helped me to see this world differently and change myself. Film is such a magical medium because it can really emotionally activate you to really see things that you couldn't see before. And there's things that you couldn't explain in film, but you can't write in a book. And it's the same when you write. You can't see that within a film because sometimes it's too complex. So film is a very special medium that we can really use in a really positive form to actually awaken and help people to transform in a positive way. So many great films have influenced me. Also, some bad films have influenced me as well, because there's always something to learn from these films. And I also got a real lot out of a very early cinema when I was at college, and this incredible cinema magic that was made. And we've kind of lost that as time has gone on. But all these films, watching films, has made me so fascinated with the film medium. I've worked on many other people's films, but I worked on my first feature film nearly 30 years ago as an art assistant, and it was then I realised that I wanted to create my own films. Over my life, I have become very skillful in creating films and videos with ultra low budgets. And I'm just at this point now where I want to use this skill so I can make films from all these subjects, because I have this ability and I know I can take things to another level with it. And it's just a matter of having your support that would really help me do that. I've set up the Patreon a while ago, and there's also a members section on the channel. I upload content to them both. There's lots of extended research on all the subjects that you've seen in the Sake of Wisdom podcast, the Hidden History series, lots of really interesting information on Tartaria. I've created a lot of perks where you'll get a lot of value for helping this channel. And if I could just get 100 of you to pay £3 to my Patreon, I can truly take this content to the next level and make these films with so much more ease. In 2020, I went out and filmed all the dystopian short films, and right actually for the next couple of years, just me, my camera, my eyes and the actor. And I did these on no budget whatsoever. So maybe buying a coffee or food for the gang, but they all work for free as well. So just think what I can do with some budget. I have made many music videos and short films on no budgets, and I am very skilled in making something look high budget at no cost. I've created a lot of great rewards for your help, as I know we're all going through a huge squeeze at the moment, but with your help and your support, I can reach a much bigger audience. The channel has grown very well, and I thank each and every one of you who has subbed, commented and shared the content to the channel over the last few years. It's amazing. Thank you everyone, and that support is equally as good. But if you can become a patron and really help this channel, I want to go to another level with this. Everyone who becomes a patron or member will get access to exclusive videos and content with lots of freebies, including 1 month Inlight TV membership, which is a membership portal I've set up to actually put all this information so you can gain knowledge and understand this world we're living in. But it will also give you access to private talks and all sorts of other perks. I will go ahead and make these films either way and continue on, but with your support, I can really create something much bigger and reach many, many more people. I cannot go full time on the channel because it doesn't pay me enough. But if it does, I can give you 100% to you all, and I assure you, you will enjoy what is to come. So thank you everyone for watching. Please consider becoming a Patreon or member. Feel free to email me anything you'd like to ask. And thank you everybody. Everyone who watches this channel has helped move it forward and really lift it and take it onto another level. And I wouldn't be doing this now if it wasn't for you. So thank you. You've really helped this grow. And thank you everyone. And until next week, I will see you then.